All right, what's up, everybody, and welcome to just a random post Christmas quantum study session. I hope you guys had a great Christmas, had some time off. If you're still enjoying your time off, enjoy this weekend. And we're just going to get into what we went in over last time. Just a reminder, we are going to be doing a challenge um, starting sometime next year, no set date, but there have been a lot of really nice A plus plus setups um, throughout the day. So the gold has been moving great. NQ has been okay. NQ has been a lot of level respect. You can see a level respect up here. The advanced reads, right? We just had an advanced read that just played out over here. Those have been the thing. The 5 minute played out pretty well. We have two big 5 minute swings right now. This one that played for a 20-ish point move. The risk on this was about the same, 20 points. So 1-1 on this one, right? If you guys look at RR, this one was about what 20-ish, same almost risk, 15, 30 points. This one actually 30-point risk. And this one gave you a monster move here, 85 all the way down. Yeah, that was a huge monster move on that. Right, zero pullback on that. Here you had one that kind of did a little bit of a test, right? Retested on the 5 minute, had your little advanced read on the 5 minute, which are a little bit risky. The 5 minute advanced reads can be risky because you have a little bit of a break, a little push, break, and then it closed right above, immediately rejected. And then you had your opening that gave you a nice pull down before it pushed up. Um, so the 5 minute, did fairly okay. Had a nice, beautiful 725 one over here that I saw this morning. Other than that, it's been so-so, right? We had a little back and forth over here on the downtrend. All right, big bluey. Obviously, I'm careful with these big blues, especially on the higher time frame. Then lit up to a big blue on the 5 minute, and you can see the advanced read set up on these. They did play out on both sides, like the advanced read on the 5 minute here, right? We tested here, and it pushed back up. Only a few points though. This kind of looks huge, and it is not. This is a 9.5 minute candle. So there was zero volume this morning. Absolutely no volume this morning. And then this candle also looks big, and that candle was a 67, like a 10-point candle as well. So these are pretty low risk plays in a sense. This one's the one that gave way. Get your advanced replay here. Like if I put in that level that was here, let me turn that magnet off. Like the level would have been right here at around 73. So here's where it started. Flip the other way, right? You got your failed bullish move. Then it starts resisting. Then there's your pull down. Came back to test it real quick. Downtrending hard and then continued the down move before finally flipped down here. So there were some decent 5 minute setups that were low risk, which is very rare. It is very rare to find low risk setups on the 5 minute, but they did present themselves. All right. You can see a few of these 1 minutes, right? These 1 minute signals, right? That sell signal didn't give you much. Let's look at what it gave us. It did do a retest. It closed here at 86. Hold up, okay, so this was 5 points risk, 90, and then it finally gave you a what? Let's see, 86. Almost 10 points, not quite before it flipped, unless you got the entry up here. If you got the entry on the retest with the stop loss above the candle itself, 89, you definitely would have collected 10 points on that. But on the candle closure, you would have not. It was super low risk, but again, we were uptrending. Eventually, you got your failed bearish moves confirming the uptrend. We went over that as well last week, so always be cautious with the uptrend, right? Here's your flip a trend. Here's a little flip. Retested real quick. That green, you can see how it retests that first. Retest, 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 and then broke over here. This is where it broke. We tapped that level right above. Nice curling, everything we want to kind of see on a level hold, and then there was your move down. And then currently this is running right now based on, let's look at what the 5 minute looks like. This has to rip through this. It's holding on to this 83 for dear life. So this 5 minute candle is going to lock in. If it holds above 79, it's going to lock in that level. And this might become a very tight 5 point little area that it will fight unless it breaks the top side over here. It's going to be interesting to see what occurs. So currently it is breaking through it. Trying to at least. There's a wick down. Hola, Ken, ¿cómo está? So just watching what we're seeing right now. All right, now I'm going to go into what Miss P2P is asking here. Well, I'm kind of watching what happens here because it has to hold above 79 for that bottom level to lock, and that might give it the oomph it'll need for that real push if it's going to really push up. Challenge 90 and then continue. Maybe challenge this area up here. Okay. Someone recommended it and liked it. In the manual, under entries, proximity to support resistance levels, does this mean that you will take some entries when price doesn't 100% hit that level, but comes really close to it and then reverses with all the needed confluences for entry? You could, right? I like to wait for my action lines to give me my guide. Depending on how violent the push is, sometimes there'll be no reaction at a level. So if you play level reaction purely, especially like around 5 minute levels, you wanna. I recommend playing those with an ATM that gives you a tight stop. Just because if it's a violent push up, the chance of it ripping through a level is pretty high. So you want to keep an eye on momentum. A lot of times there are hard rejections on levels. You guys have seen them over and over and over again. I personally don't like to play those. I like to wait for the reaction. I like to wait for the pause. I like to wait for the action lines to give me that guide, and then I wait for my candles as well. But if it's a low risk, like right now, it's just holding on to this level. But right now, right, what's occurring? The 5 minutes trying to give us a level. So would I like a short here at the moment? No, I wouldn't. Why? Because this is going to create a level at 78. And this could give us our stack level for that push up, right? Here's your 1 minute level that created at 70. It retested it over here. Failed bearish move. Everything's kind of telling me this wants to push up a little bit. But how far up, we don't know, right? This 5 minute level should lock in this last minute if this closes well above 79. That level will lock in at 78.50, 78.75. You can see it's struggling to hold right now. So there's no guarantee it'll happen, but this is what we were kind of gauging. If you made the entry down here on the retest, your stop loss was super low on this. Like 69 retest. This is why I love the advanced reads. 69, right? You might have not caught that 69 entry. You might have gotten that 72. Still 7 point stop loss. 72, 70, you're already up 13 points. And you may have a runner just kind of like, let's see if this 5 minute level locks, you might have your runner right below 78, or maybe we choose this candle here at 76 and see if that holds for that potential push through 83 to give you that move that could potentially happen if that stack level is strong and can give you that closure above 83 on the 5 minute. Okay, there's a level, right? The 5 minute did not close. So 78.50 is where that level got created right here. 78.50 now needs to muster up strength and push over 83.50. But if this flips, right, your 1 minute is pointing down now, but I'm not interested in anything around here. Why? Because this is too tight now. This could push down and could do, almost like a Wiccan flip, like what Llama loves to say, like a Wiccan flip, where it'll do that with a level, where it'll create the level and quickly flip it. Like it wants to line up, like the 1 minute and the 5 minute want to line up, but you have to wait for that break. Right now, the strength for it to go up is better because you have two levels below, right? Versus this one sole 5 minute level. But the 5 minute levels are also strong. But this is where you have to be patient. There's no guarantee just because you have that stack level down here that it's going to push up. You have to wait. It could just start ranging. What time is it, right? It's 11:40. So for you guys, it is not. What time is it over here? It's 11:40. Over here, it's 1:40. So this is about to hit lunch. This could be semi-lunch range. All right, there's 83 going. Let's see if 83 will crack here. All right, now it's pushing up a little bit. So the stack level is showing some strength. There it goes a little further. There it goes. There's big blue. There's our blue guy. There's our little push. Now it needs to hold above 83. All right, it needs to continue to show some strength. It needs to stay above 83 for the next 3 minutes if we're going to see some more further push up. All right. I don't use levels as TPs either, right? Some of you guys do. Do they hit sometimes? Yeah, they do. But I use levels as a guidance for my runner. I do hold runners. Like I don't like remember something. A lot of people always kind of like say, oh, I only go for 10 points. 10 points is my main TP with my first, line of contracts. I hold runners. I collect quite a bit with runners. With my runners, I collect well over 15, 20 points on average, when there's good moves, when there's good movement going, that's what I usually like to collect. Again, 10 points is my main TP, but I never give back, right? 10 points. And once I get my 10 points, I start trailing. And if it comes back and takes me out, takes me out. But, I find setups that give me that continuation. So there's the blue on the 5, right? You see it. It's already painting the little signal right now. But you want this to hold above 83. It might retest it. Right? It's signaling because it's within one candle. Let's see if this gives that push. I do have a retrace around 99. And then we do have another. This did retrace a little bit already. So that purple got retraced. This was a beautiful retrace over here. We pulled all the way down here at open, and I did catch that retrace on an eval. There was another one over here, but this has a potential for retrace up here to 99. If this can maybe 3-bar up, let's see. See if this can 3Z over here on this 1 minute, get a nice little push over at 90, and then we'll have that potential 99 in play for that fill. All right. So hopefully that answered your question, CC. Let me know if it didn't. Let me know if you need clarification. Yeah, power hour is a question. Logan isn't, so maybe just chill. So yeah, I think I might chill. Enjoying time with your family. You homesick yet? No, not yet. No. Like me and my wife, we love to travel. Like we want to travel more. Like that's our thing. Like we try to go places. When I used to drive the Tesla, we were in Utah, and I would have the Model S free supercharging, and I would drive to California. We would drive to Las Vegas. We were in St. George. We were an hour 45 from Las Vegas. So we would drive to Vegas. We would drive to California like every other weekend. You guys seen, we took our son to Universal Epic. We surprised him with that. Then we went again to Disney. Like that's what we love to do. That's where we spend our money. Like I don't have a fancy car. I don't have watches. I don't got jewelry. I got none of that. I got nothing. Like I'm like where I like to splurge is on travel. You know. All right, let's watch this develop right here. So I don't get homesick. Like I like being away from home. Like like eventually we do, but we try to enjoy ourselves as much as possible. And the kids are young, so they're still like they still like to be home every once in a while. But our kids, our daughters, they're like when they see certain places, they're like, "Ooh, pool, ooh," they know where we're at, or they know when we go on the airplane, right? They knew this time we were going to the airplane. Oh, airplane! Oh, airplane! Like they knew, they just know. They love it too now. All right, let's see if there's the push. So let's see if this can continue to give a little push up. It rejected 90 so far. I want to see this kind of give that pull up to 99. I want to see if that retrace will happen. If not, oh well. It did give you that push from down here. All right, this setup was decent on that 5-minute candle closure. If you got in down here at 78, you already be up 10 points, and your runner will be smooth sailing. Or if you got in down here at 70, you're up really good right now. You're up 20 some points, and you're seeing if your runner is going to hit that that retracement. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You're still green. Don't ever let a green trade turn red. All right, we are fighting a downtrend, so you always want to keep that in mind. So the downtrend is still in play, right? Look where it's rejecting on the 1 minute, right? That little red cloud right here, it's failing to break over 90. It tried 1, 2, 3 times. Now it's going to retest this 80. And if I were in this play, that pullback might have taken me out, and I'd be perfectly fine with that. So if it's retesting 80, needs to hold 80. There's your cross down, so I need to see it bounce up, or this is going to test this pocket. It's going to try to cross down. That's looking like a pretty bullish purple if it does wake up. All right, let's see what occurs here. So now you're going to have an area between 85 and 78.60. So it's getting a little tight now, so you want to see it hold here potentially continue its way up if it's really going to try to flip the trend. Let's look at what the 5-minute looks like, because the 5-minute did make a higher low here, but it needs to hold on to that 78. All right, there's a quick wick on it. Very weak bounce so far. Very weak bounce. Let me see what it looks like. The DOM is not going crazy, so there's not a whole reaction just yet. I want to see the DOM start speeding up. There it goes. Now it's speeding up. Now it's getting jumpy. All right, now I'm seeing the reaction I'm looking. This is why I use the DOM as my extra confluence. When I'm around levels and the DOM starts reacting, that's an area I want to keep an eye on. So yep, DOM speeding up. Now the DOM's going crazy. For a second it went crazy, then it slowed down as it approached 80. So 77, 78, it starts speeding up some. So it's either going to hold on to this or it's going to rip and then test that 70. It's holding on to it for dear life right now. The bounces don't look that strong either. Yeah, it's going. Yeah, it speeds up when it hits 77-ish. It speeds up. This might be a failed bearish, bullish move here. If it breaks 78. Ooh, look at that. Look at that bounce. So when I use the DOM, this isn't something that I even go over a whole lot, and I even with like students and stuff, because not everyone uses the DOM. A lot of people use TradingView or the Trade-of-8 chart, but like if you guys watch me during Power Hour, I'm always doing this because I'm eyeballing my DOM. See when it hits a level, I want to see what my DOM is doing. So when I see the level get approached and I see the DOM speeding up, I know that's a major area. And once that major area gets hit and the DOM speeds up, then I'm waiting for the reaction. And what I'm looking at is what I'm gonna try to react to. So right now we got a purple on the 5. This holds under 78. We're gonna get a push down. Let's see. That's a failed bullish move on both the 5 and the 1. So it has to hold under 78 here, and then it has 70 would be next. Yeah, this is what one of those kind of like wick and flip. Actually, I need to come up with a name for the wick and flip for the action lines. All right, now, okay, this is where I want to be cautious, right? Okay, we got a failed bearish move. Now you want to see it stay below 80. This could be range as well. This could also start ranging, right? I need to see the 78 hold. I need to see that bullish candle that got broken. I need to see it hold under, just like that wick we saw. Now I need to see that hold, and I need to see it continue to push down and stay below 78. Below 78, then we retest 70. Then you want to see it break that 70. But it needs to start holding below here. If it doesn't, it pops back up. We're probably going to be in a 5-minute range. All right, there it goes. That's just a little 5-point push so far. Got 4 minutes left for this 5-minute too. So this signal ended up playing out pretty well. So this crossed slightly in front. Right, remember, keep an eye on where the crosses happen. This crossed slightly in front. So once this closed, this candle right here would have been the one that really was your entry point, not the one here. This one right here, and you could have used your level as your stop or the candle itself. So this candle 83, 85 stop loss or 89 stop loss. Gave you a nice, so far, 10-point push. But again, right, I'm cautious because why? What was below it? The 5-minute was below it. The 5-minute was below it, so I'd be cautious on that. I probably no, I know I wouldn't take that at all. I would not take that trade at all. I want to start seeing this hold below 78. If it can hold below 78, it might start looking interesting. If it starts popping back above, the range play might start looking interesting here. On the 1-minute, we have 75, and then we still have this. Yeah, look at that pop back up. Right back over 78. So range currently would be around 70-ish, all the way up to 90. 20-point range potential. So I want to see what it does when it pops back up, how far it can. If not, then the down move is still potentially in play. So here's a potential advanced read for a move down. 84. It still needs to hold below 78. So this did present a little advanced read, right? It didn't touch the level, but it did test the area. 83, 83, 81. Stop loss will still have been that candle or a break of that level. There's that move down. That's what an advanced read looks like, right? It's not always going to tap the level. It's just a test of the area as close as possible, low risk, and you want to see that rejection. Now we want to see if this will stay below 78. So far, it is fighting it. Dom's going kind of speedy again here in this area. Still got 2 minutes left for this candle to form to close. So it is looking like this is building a potential range area if this cannot close below 78. I am recording this session, Kathy. Yes. All right. I travel a lot, but I miss my home after 3 to 4 days. But if you're are you traveling for work, Rich? Because that might be the difference. If you're traveling for work, absolutely. But like when I travel for fun, like there's times when we travel and we're out and we're like, should we extend it? Should we stay a couple more days? But then when you get home, you always get home and you're like, like I'm not a fan of using like, going to the bathroom not at home. So when I get home and I get to my toilet, I'm like, that's the only thing I get homesick for. Are you willing to do a session for silver since it's been working like crazy on the 1 and 2 minutes? Yeah, Prime. I just started looking a little bit at it this morning. I've seen some of the people. I know Kathy uses it. I saw one of the other guys caught some really nice killer trades on it. So I want to do a little bit of back testing and forward testing, and then I could review. But it looks like the setups are identical. The 1 and 2 with gold, everything. But yes, I'm looking at silver. I'm not in the trade right now, Scarface. No. So would this have been an A plus plus setup to do the cross on the body of the cell candle? It wouldn't have been a traditional because the cross happens slightly. So you got to zoom in. You got like this is where having the lines visible, right? This will give you the guidance, right? When this candle closed below, the cross was gonna start forming in front of it. I want it to be center or behind, right? It is a pretty decent setup, as in like it's close to the center. You could still use it, right? You know that the cross is gonna happen at 885. So as long as that level holds when you got that candle closure, and you want to wait for that to test on this next candle, as long as it holds, you're still good to take it. I like it when it's more centered body and a little bit behind, but this isn't too bad. This is slightly in front. I don't like it when it's like way in the front. That's what I don't like. I don't like when it's like so far in the front, like a full blown candle or two in the front, because usually the move is already in progress. I want it to be attached to the candle, because when it's attached, usually that move hasn't occurred yet. You have opportunity to get in with lower risk. Another failed bearish move, bullish move there. Yeah, it's fighting this area right now, but that's a huge failed bullish move. It's not looking horrible. Push down to 70, but it's slowly doing it. It's testing like 5 minute has a little bullish. It needs to break through 74 slowly, and it'll slowly make it down here and test this 70 potentially. Just slowly doing it though. It's not like moving very, very, very well for me. It's just tight. This is like a very tight spot. It's 15-ish points from this point up here. So it's just in here. Still downtrending. The 5 minute is downtrending. So each time I see a failed bullish move, I'm thinking this wants to go down further. This needs to start closing below that 70, that 74 to break that 5 minute blue. All right, every 1 minute we see continuous 1 minute failed bullish moves. Right, fighting to break that one. That 75, the tip just broke, and then you got 70. The final area will be 66 on this guy. So you could kind of like you could see how when the market gets choppy, you could see how it trickles and it starts challenging little areas. And you can start seeing the failed bullish moves on a trend when it's trending in a certain direction. But the short might start looking really, really decent here if this can continue to hold under 78. But this 5 minute candle has to close below 78. Could have a somewhat a 3Z looking setup over here too for that little push to that 70 potentially. All right. So would you have? So would you have? Blah, blah. Okay. So would this have been? So hopefully that answered your question, Kim. Yeah. I missed the easy access to public and clean toilets. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. As you do, you have to. Yeah. Like here, like like you get used to it. Like I've been here 4 times. The bathrooms here, we're so used to how our bathrooms are in the U.S. that when you go to like a third world country or another country where it's like, the most of the houses outside, right? You just have the rooms, the kitchen is kind of open, right? I'm getting bit by mosquitoes. Like I have a ton of bites. So do my girls. Most of the time we're outside. The dinner table's outside. You got one toilet here, but it's like kind of has open windows. Um, you got mosquitoes all over the place, bugs flying all over the place. You get spoiled by it, and you forget, how good we have it. And yeah, you got to carry your own stuff. Like I use wipes, I use the dude wipes and stuff. I like to make sure I'm clean. We can't flush things down the toilet here, things like that. But you get used to it. At least I have. All right. So would you take this A plus plus? Yeah. So I wouldn't, because I would wait for that 5 minute level to break, and then I would wait. Right now, it's looking decent. As long as this holds, there it goes. Look, as long as this starts holding under 78 and 80, this is looking good. Right. You have a couple guiding candles here to use if you're looking for a potential short to hold under 78 for this to kind of keep pushing down. You can have your stop above 90. You also have another stop above 912, which is wider. On the 1 minute, you still have this 85 level, but it is kind of bouncing here, right? It's too close to the 70, but it's like bouncing back and forth right now. It's just back and forth. If I see this hold right now, there's our purple on the 5 minute. This needs to start really holding below 78. 78 is that middle ground for the potential range area. That's what I'm seeing so far. All right, there it goes. Just back and forth, right? Just keeps pushing back and down, back and down. So this needs to start locking in that level here. And then you want to see it break through 70. But like this play up here, as low risk as it was, I'd be cautious because of that 5 minute level. So always keep that in mind. There it goes. Look at that. There's the 69. It's almost at that level. There it goes. There it is, right? Held below 78, 78. It's making that push, and it's bouncing so far right on top of that, but it needs to break that next. And now we're getting that 5 minute has to close this level here. This is what I want to see. When I see a level forming, usually you'll see that level lock on this next candle, and you'll see a push. Okay, it's just doing it now. The push is just happening. I did test it with 1 micro. I'm up $20 on 1 micro because when I'm doing a lesson, right, I don't like to be hyper focused. I like to be hyper focused. All right. Oh, there it goes. I'm up $30 on the 1 micro. I'm gonna start trailing it. I'm happy with that. That's a huge move down. So there it goes. Still going. That 1 minute signal looks beautiful now. Are you like, if you're okay with the low risk and the downtrend, right? You're downtrending. You have a 5 minute level below. Just depends on you. It depends on you, right? The beauty about the market's individualized. If you're okay taking the risk, if you're just in a small size and you're just, let me test this with 2 or 3 micros. Let me see if that level breaks, and you're okay and you can get over the loss, because a lot of people don't like to lose, and when they lose a trade, they immediately want to get into another one, and they get into it emotionally versus just, okay, you know what, that trade didn't work. I got my stop loss hit. Let me wait for the next setup. That's where sometimes just waiting, right? Oh, I got into this short and it didn't play out. The last time it broke through the 5 minute level, this time it didn't, right? Because it is not going to do everything 100,000% to the way, especially with 5 minute levels. 5 minute levels are strong. So you always want to be patient. I don't like to take a 1 minute signal off of a 5 minute. Like I want to take the 5 minute instead. If I start seeing my 5 minute breaking it, that's better than my 1 minute. So I wanted to watch that 5 minute start going below that 78 and started doing it. And now you see the sell signal on the 5 minute, right? That's what you want to see. Hold below 78. That thing closed at 73 and immediately dropped. That's what you want to see. So as soon as I said, right, that this candle needs to close well below 78 and you want to see that push. This is what I'm talking about. That close below 78, that's that violent push. So those are those moves that I used to catch. I still catch them, right? But I used to record them when I was making content early on, where you would see like I'd be up $200-300 with 6 micros or 5 micros in a blink of an eye, because I know what's about to occur if that level holds. If it breaks below and it holds, and I know what's going to occur with the potential formation of a level, it's going to give you that push, right? But you always have to be okay taking the trade, taking the risk. There you go, Appeasy. You got to trust the process, guys. You got to trust the process. Don't be afraid, right? You're going to be learning. This is a whole learning process. You have to learn. You have to learn to lose. You have to learn what a good setup is, like what an A setup versus A plus plus versus A minus versus B. But they're going to be individualized for you, right? Some of us just like to wait for the stack level formation, for the 5 minute and the 1 minute to form together, right? For the lines to align. Your 1 minute started aligning with your five a little later, right? When I have gotten up here personally, no, I waited for that 78 to break. I waited for that, and then I took it with 1 micro, and then boom, it ran. Right, just to test it out. So if it doesn't break this level and you see a hook of the action line, would you scalp the long? Yeah, I would have scalped the long if I saw like right here. Obviously, no. Right, you saw this guy right here. Right, you saw the little blue. You saw the hooking. But where did it have to go? Right, you had to wait for it to break the level. If I had room, right, if it started occurring down here at that level, and I know I had room to that 85, I might, yeah. If it's low risk enough, absolutely. Why not? So at the moment, right, that was a nice drop right there. Nice close below 78, well below 78, and then dropped for 13-ish points, almost 14 points. Now, if it continues to go, right, we're getting a little bit of a curl up. It's going to retest this area. It's going to retest the 78 potentially if it can muster up. If it's a strong level, it's not going to touch it. If it's kind of a okayish level, it might tap it a couple times. But as long as it stays below it, dude, we have room down here to 30. But this is going to try to form a level back again at this area that it just broke one out of. That's 78, 79. And this is something, again, keep an eye on where these levels get formed. They don't always just form in random areas. They get formed in the same spot they used to be, right? If this holds up here, this is going to form the level again where it just broke. Like it just broke the level over here at 69. If this locks in, it's going to form it again at 69, right? It needs to stay below that 78, right? Oh, look, that level formed at 76, 75. The level was right around 78. They're generally very close. These are like major areas, consistently hit, consistently tested over and over and over again. So now we want to see it continue to hold below that level that was at 69 if it's going to continue to go down, and a potential failed bullish move here if it can hold below 65. It needs to stay under that 76 as well. Obviously, still downtrending. All right. Failed bearish move. Failed bullish move coming in. If it holds under 65, it's trying. Do that. My DOM is reacting to the 65 area. Starts to speed up around here. So it's either this has about 15 seconds. So this is either going to pull up and it's going to create that level around here, or it's going to just start pulling down on this candle close. Let's see what it does. Got 3 seconds. Just trying to hold on to this area right here. All right. So right now this is what, 65? 65. So that's where the cross would kind of lock in, is around 65.75. So that's where that level would lock in if this candle closes above it. I'm not seeing much of a push up yet. I mean, that could easily change, but yeah, there goes a little bit now. All right. That's why I love watching this stuff live, man. This is, again, right? The creation of levels, the candles reacting to previous, where they formed previously, the wicks and everything. All right, there's a blue buy. Let's see if it challenges some of that up here. I don't know if it'll challenge much. Again, it's a 1 minute going against a 5. Usually doesn't. Sometimes they do, but it is downtrending. I'm wondering if we're going to see another failed bullish move, or if it's going to respect the 66 and then start creeping back up. This would be considered A plus plus within one candle. Just the risky part of this is that it's on the bottom side of wick, right? And then you're going up against a 5 minute. If a 5 minute is strong, you're not going to get it to tap at all. So I'm waiting to see if this is going to be another failed bullish move. So you prefer 1 minute with a 5 minute? Do you ever use the 30-second? I used to use the 30-second. I haven't in a while. I actually started doing some back testing with the 45 and the 1 minute, and seen some pretty good stuff. All right, so here. So Scarface, right? You just asked about the A plus plus, right? This is why I'm cautious with these. A 1 minute going up against a 5 minute level doesn't always end well, right? You have room potentially to that, but if it's a 5 minute level versus a 1 minute level, it doesn't hold up. There's that flip. There's that flip. Failed bear bullish move. Downtrend still holding. Like I want to wait for this to either get to this area down here at 30 or the stack level down here at 14 and 808. If I'm looking for a potential reversal, right? Because I don't change reversals. If I'm looking for a potential reversal, and it might not make it all the way. That's the catch, right? It could get to 30. It might break 30 and make it down in this area. It might break this and then come down here instead, right? But I'm gonna wait for it to get to an area where I can play off of maybe a support zone, which a support zone would be 830.75, then 814.50, 806, right? That's clean of a failed bullish move against the 5 minute levels you can get, right? A plus plus setup, but right, but we're going up against a 5 minute level that just formed. 5 minute is still looking bearish as hell. Downtrending, it can't break that first area at all. It's been holding it pretty well since it broke it. I don't like the long at that point at all. By definition, is an A plus plus setup cross within one candle. All right, within one candle. That's what you normally entry would be up here, and you would look for a push up. There's that reverse. See, this is why I avoid these setups. These I want to see a good 15 plus point separation, and especially against a 5 minute level. I want to see more than 15 points for that potential push because it's not going to give you much. But like there's a continuation. There's another level lock at 63. All right, you can start seeing right the stack level form. Right, where did this place start? Up here, right? Did I enter this? No. Why? Because that 5 minute level below. Then I saw it break and starting to hold above below 78. That's where I wanted to test it. My stop loss up here. All right. Once that candle 5 minute candle closed below 78, you saw that hard push down here. Then you saw contention because it's going to retest some of it. If the level is strong, it won't touch it. Saw a potential setup, strong rejection, strong level, immediate pull down. Now it's testing this level at 63, right? Doing the same thing it was doing before. It's going to test this area. And if the downtrend is still strong, it'll reject again, or it'll start ranging if it's getting ready to potentially make another move down or try to challenge the push back up. All right, do you prefer that? So can you look at gold? What do you do when there's a lot of levels? All right, let's go look at gold. Haha, yeah. So when it's like this tells me pure range chop. I hate this. When it's surrounded by levels, there's just indecision. This is cross after cross. So the first line of indecision right here, look at where the crosses happen around the same area, right? This started occurring at around 570 and 569.70. So where these crosses occur like this, that's your area. If it can break and hold above 70, you'll start seeing some contention. But if it starts to hold below it, it becomes, it goes from support to resistance or resistance to support. Here, initially, when it pushed up, it was somewhat support, right? It pushed up, came back down, and then broke through it. Now it became resistance. So it formed a new level here. And that new level was where the previous level was. And you can see the wicks, right? But I would wait for this, what's occurring right now. I want to watch the lines kind of line up for potential push down before I was playing anything else. Now you zoom out, right? Where do we have more room? You have more room down than up. Like if you look this, right, you have more levels above and I have less below. So I would like a potential short better than a long, because if I wanted to go into a long, I would wait for this to kind of open up because it's forming that little weird all-time highs, right? The all-time high was up here. This was the all-time high, currently up here. And then it broke down, it came to test that level that it formed. Dunk, dunk, dunk. You can see the range. Nice little signal here. Pull down. Try to pull up. Rejected that level. Right. You can see the rejection off that level. Another nice little pull down. Here's a signal to challenge that level above. Quickly flipped. Pushed down and formed another. You can see how it contests these levels. Gold respects the levels better than NQ does. Like way better than NQ does. Right? But there are days where gold might be all about A++ setups, like the setups I caught with gold. Look at that drop. Look at that. See? Look at that. Oh, look. Right? More room down than up. Just looking at where I have space. This can continue to go. Yeah, she's going. Holy shit. Very nice. All right. So the plays I caught with gold this morning were very simple. I caught a little bit of this short. Boom. Bounced. Caught a little bit of that long. Caught a little bit of that one. Got stopped out on this one. Got stopped out on this one. Watched it come back down. Caught some of this one. Caught some of this one, even though the cross was above. I still tried it because it lined up with the 2 minute. I think at the time, I didn't play that one. Didn't play this, and I caught some of this up at the morning. This was the morning. Yep, caught some of this guy. I caught some of this up to like up here. I left the runner up until right here, and then I actually got back in on the trade up here. After it broke here, I continued and it went up further. Caught some of this short, and that was it. I got stopped out on. Nope, no, I didn't play that one, did I? Can't remember now. No, I didn't play this. It just happened. No, did not play this at all. But gold has, like, you can see how, oh, look, there's a signal that pushed where? To the level, right? It flows very well. If you keep your sizing under check, you can go in and test multiple levels and multiple signals, right? But make sure you stay consistent with your risk, right? If the risk is high, what am I going to wait for? The retest. And I'm going to keep my stop loss in place. I'm not going to go in on this is a buy signal here, but I'm going to look at the risk and I'm like, oh, that's a little higher risk than what I'm used to, and then start messing up because I'm just like, that's not, I wouldn't normally get into a high risk trade like this. If I do, and like, let me test it with one and let me leave room to add if it does pull back for a retest. And obviously, when you pull back, right, it's called DCAing, dollar cost average. Always respect the stop loss. And if I dollar cost average, I make sure it's planned. I'm not going to start dollar cost averaging just because it pulls back a little bit. No, I'm waiting for it to do what? An advanced read. I want it to approach that level or that area. And then my stop loss is always the same. When you DCA, it adjusts your entry, right? So your TPs also adjust. So now your risk to reward is also reduced. So that's a way to play it. This is something that, I'm going to go over later on, but more so with my students in greater detail. So this is a little bit of free chicken for you guys here, and I will be posting this on YouTube. So it's not like super saucy, but it is a little bit of saucy of how I do it. Just a little bit of saucy, but it's like it's very you have to be very and what's the word I'm looking for? Um, oh, there's a word I'm looking for, and it's just on the tip of my tongue, and I can't think of it right now. But you have to be very like cautious with your risk, right? You have to be respective of the stop loss. You have to be very repetitive with the patterns that you play. And when you play them, it starts feeling easy. It starts feeling like you have cracked the code to the market. Like after you catch failed move after failed move over and over again, you wait for the stack levels. You know when the levels are all bunched up. I'm just gonna wait, right? Then I'm gonna zoom out and I'm like, where do I have? I have more room down than up. All right, this is all pulling down now. I'm gonna like this because look at all this I have up here, and there's just that one level here. If it breaks that one level, there's potential room down here, right? That's stack level though, right? Look, it didn't make it all the way down, but you still could have caught a nice little break from this 67. That's a freaking 60 tick move. Like damn, your risk, what your areas that you could have put your stop could have been the break of those levels here or the break of the levels above. You know, there you have the guidance. You have the guidance. The levels could be your stop losses, or if you have those candle setups like the A plus plus setups, you can have the candles as your stop loss. The purple candle is your bearish candle. This could be your stop loss. If it breaks that candle, it's no good, right? Breaks a bullish candle, it's a failed bullish move, right here, like visually, right? All these other candles don't mean a damn thing to me. The only ones that do are these blues and purples, right? The quantum candles. That's all I care about. Right? These are the setups to the A plus plus. When they're attached to a level, it gives them a little strength. Right? But gold has been flowing. Like look at just look at the action lines with gold. When they're spread out, right? When it's like this tight, I'm not a fan. I like it when they open up. When they open up like this, look at how it flows. It flows really well. Like it flows really well. The level creation with gold flows beautifully when it is spread open. It flows beautifully. Pushed up. Obviously, then it started like it gets tight, gets tight. I don't like it when it gets tight. I want it to be spread out, and you can see how it flows when it's nice, beautiful spreading. Just flows really well. Gold loves trend. Gold loves the levels. Like it really respects levels. And gold is a simple beast if you're patient. A lot of us aren't patient. All right. Can you look at me scalp that short a few times on gold? Way to go. Heck yeah, man. Nice shit, Slice. All right. Let's go back and look what NQ has been doing. Yeah, NQ still was pushing down, huh? Look at that. So very nice 20-ish point drop. More than 20 points. Almost gave you 30 points. Almost gave you 30 points. Zero pullback if you made your entry up here. If you made your entry at 74, it gave you almost no pullback. It gave you a little bit of contention, but that is a nice, beautiful move right there. Failed bullish move, holding on to the downtrend. Strong continuation. This is where it all began, up here, right? Up here is where it began. Super low risk if somebody was willing to test that. Once it broke that 5-minute, again, I didn't get in until it broke the 5-minute level. And I took my $30 with Moon Micro and ran because I used to make that in 1 hour. That used to be my 1 hour work. And I made that in like 2 minutes. Not even 2 minutes. That took like 30 seconds. All right, let's look at silver. I'm curious about silver now. Let me go to the gold tab though. Let's go take a quick peek at silver. Micro silver. See what it looks like. That's your 1 hour rate now. There you go, Ken. See, oh shit, look at that. Oh yeah, look at silver. Trend. Ooh, wow. That's a beauty. Book against that level was a no go. Oh wow. Oh dang. Okay. Wow. Look at that. Look at these. These look beautiful. That looks clean. Other than it being below, very similar to gold. This is a clean A plus plus setup as you can get. 519 in the morning. 518 in the morning. That's a clean A plus plus setup right there. Cross behind. The only thing that would throw me off. Let's go, Ken. The only thing that would throw me off here was the size of the candle, and this is why I have to back test it because it might not be. It might not care what size the candle is. Like that size of the candle on silver might just be like, okay, you know what? I would be cautious playing that size on gold and then Q. For silver, it might not because you can see how like small and tiny each of these are, and then boom, big pop, and it just continued. This one was nice. Little guy here failed bullish move. Another failed bullish move. Then pop retested that level, continued up, and a little bit of a a bearish here to continue. This one was a nice clean. This is a cross above, so not a fan of those. Looks like silver respects that. Cross inside. Here's an advanced read with silver. Nice advanced read, and then pull down hard. Another very clean A plus plus setup on silver. Okay, it's piqued my interest. This presented an advanced read here before it wicked up here and then pulled down. So I have to see how silver micros run and everything. Nice level hold. Level hold with a buy for an explosion. Cross above. The cross above. It looks like it does play around with the crosses above. Like the crosses above us on silver look like a no-go majority of the time. Nice. Oh, cross was in front, so move pretty much was already occurring. Another cross up top that did contest, but did push a little bit. Cross in front, pushed up. Cross above. This one played though. This one's just the one. Oh, but this one occurred because of the 2 minute. It had a stack level. Let's take a look at the 2 minute on silver. Silver is clean with quantum 1, 2, and 5 minute, but it is so expensive. Can't risk less than thing with one. Whoa, really? That much, huh, Kathy? What does silver have a mini? Like, what does the mini look like? I'm scared of that. That's scary. All right, let's look at the 2 minute on silver. Yeah, so here's the stack level formation up here. So it didn't give us anything in terms of a quantum candle, but that was just a clean stack level formation pool. Now it's kind of holding on down here. Trying to look at the action lines on the 2 minute and how they flow. That was a nice push, little pull down, little fake out for the uptrend. That looked beautiful. Yeah, look where silver is reacting. Look at that. There's the hook. This is up. There's Big Blue. Let's watch this. I'm kind of curious about this now. Okay, finally pulled back. What will be the contract for silver? I want to see what it looks like on my DOM. Oh, yeah, look at that pull up. NQ held that 2 minute. Yeah, we're gonna work on that, Kathy, on getting the triple time frame thing going. SIH, and that's for the micro prime time. Don't make me go into a mini. SIH 6. It says the current market date decision for this contract is for top of book. Huh? What does that mean? Top of book. Okay. Oh dang! Look at that. It actually launched. Good. Let me test this on the SIVA. Holy crap! Is that a mini? Yeah, I'm like down $150 with one contract and it only moved like a few cents. Okay, I'm getting out of that. What's the micro for gold for silver? SILH. Okay, SILH 6. Dude, a mini on silver is wild work. Holy crap! I thought gold minis were wild. All right, let me look at what a micro runs with. SILH. Wait, why can't I get in on anything? It's not letting me get any on SILH. Hmm, that's interesting. Why can't I buy anything on SILH? It's honestly scary. It looks scary. The mini on freaking silver, but I'm not able to make an entry on SIL H6 for some reason. Not sure why. SIL H6 micro silver. Huh, I wonder why I can't make an entry on SIL H6. That's weird. Need to get data for metals probably. For props? I was able to get in on the SI. I was able to make an entry on SI6, SI on regular. I got to get used to seeing how these ticks move and everything. But I couldn't do it on SIH, whatever it is. SILH. 2 minutes trying to hook up. You see it start holding above 76.35, which is up here. Looks like she wants to break that 19. Definitely something I'm going to keep an eye out on. I'm going to keep an eye on silver for sure. It does look very intriguing. All right. All right, let's get back to it. So I'm going to switch this back to gold. MGC. Gold made it down. They don't test the caffeine. And 2 minute, yeah. Look at that. Beautiful. All right, let's take a look at NQ again. Let's see what NQ. Ooh, like it. Ooh, look at the 5 minute on NQ. That was a big popper sim right there. Where did it hit 848? The 5 minute cracked the first downtrend area at 73. Now you want to see it stay above it. Then you want to see it start challenging that 96. That retrace is still in play up here at 99 too. I'm gonna put an alert up here, like at 99 right there, right there. Used to crack through 85 again. Looks like it's struggling. The downtrend still looks strong to me though. Okay. All right, let's see what this is looking like. 5 minute wants to continue to push up, while the 1 minute is potentially curling down. All right. Use the 5 minute untraced candles too, right? I don't. I don't use the 5 minute untrace. So yeah, you got this one is lined up with the one. It's lined up, so they're kind of lined up together, like a little bit right up here. But no, the 5 minute ones I don't use at all. Like they're just so high risk for me. You could though. Honestly, you could. I just don't. You could. I just prefer the 1 minute. But you see the retracement. It's the exact same. It's the exact same. Right, halfway point. If they get retraced halfway, I don't count it. Like there's one up here at 908. This one was left alone, and it did get retraced. Right, where this one occurred at what time? This occurred on the 25th at 8:20. It got retraced over here right before open today at 8:35. Right, big move down before that happened though. 8:44. So like a 60 point move down before the retracement occurred. But it occurs all the same. I'm just not patient enough for the 5 minute. That's just me. All right, here's another one. All right, little retracement off that 5 minute level. So you see them all over the place. All right, immediately went to retest that 5 minute level. Immediately. And it still has a lot of room down. Well, right now it's kind of spread open. It has a little bit of room up too. If it breaks that 5 minute level, that's going to be a potential failed bullish move. But if it holds on to it, we may get a potential flip. All right, I see many P2P students in here. Are you guys trading Llama style too and just want more trades? Hence being here in Quantum. um, they could probably, but I use Llama's fibs like with my sauce box. It's free money. It is so much free money. Again, if you haven't used it, like when Quantum, like the trifecta for me is Quantum level, sauce box, Llama's fib, all in that same area. You bet my ass I'm gonna put in some contracts in that. I have alert set because it's almost always free money. Yeah, so it's PT, yeah, CC sees it too. If Quantum is forming A plus trade is not like P2P trade two for me, it's extra confluence. Yeah, because I got a lot of them. Like I've been using ever since F1. I took F1 and I learned the basics. I know there's a lot more to Alma stuff, and I did start learning some of the other FEGs and obviously I know about his other multiple draws and things like that. I can't get too much into it, but like the added confluence because again I use quantum with orb, right, the 930 orb, things like that. um the added confluence is always just so cool to see how it reacts to several areas, whether it's FEG, fib, Orb. Some other guys early on were testing other things with it. I can't even tell you what they were. They were testing other things with them, and they were like, dude, it's so cool to see these reactions around them. And that's what this is. Like this is like, giving you those guiding reactions that you look for that aren't your normal typical candles, right? Because you can look at red and green candles all day, but you're not sure which one, like which one of these candles is my go-to. With this, we have the go-to candles. This is why we have the A++ setup. This is why we have failed bullish moves, failed bearish moves. Like this is that visual indication that you need with just the blues and the purples, right? Like I said, I don't look at any other candles. I just look at my quantum candles. Does this mean you hold longer? Yeah, when there's llama fib in play, I do hold for a little longer. Llama's fib cues, yeah. Yeah, glad you see it too. A wingnut. It is always go to do. Like I also my biggest trades, like when I'm like really eyeballing a trade, my biggest trades when I hold, like, and I don't go for my 5 and 10 on those, are when those line up. When I have sauce box, uh, uh, llamas fibs, and a quantum level, I will let it run more than 10 points every single time. That's a great question, Brian. So I actually have multiple tabs. I have my NQ tab and my MGC tab, so I don't have to do that. So my NQ tab, 1 and 5, 1 and 5, and then when I go to my MG, if I'm let me take a peek at MGC here, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. So I don't have to do that. I don't like to go back and forth. Right? If I'm trading on my phone, I'm just gonna eyeball one because I don't want to have to do all the flipping back and forth. I'm just gonna be eyeballing gold, or I'm just gonna be eyeballing NQ. And gold's flowing beautifully. Just a casual 50 tick move off of this buy right here, right? The formation of everything, the 2 minute kind of leading the push, but now it needs to break 53.20, and you're seeing a little bit of pullback there. Let's go back to NQ. NQ is holding on to that 5 minute level right here. Holding on. It is still downtrending, right? This is why I'm very cautious with how I play these retraces, because when it's downtrending strong, I like to see level reaction first. Like I want to see it get all the way down here. Like I want to see it come all the way down to that 30 or that 804, 808 area. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Look at the yellow line with the buy signal and look at the move. Yeah, there you go. Look at that. Crazy, right? Crazy, right, Wingnut? Like I love it, man. Like the confluences, and you add confluences. You can add as many confluences as you want, right? I like to have 3 or more. I like to have 3 or more, but they all have to be in the same area. I don't like confluences that are spread out. They have to be like together. I have to have sauce box, quantum level, and the fib in the same area for that to be considered like a major area. Then when the price gets there, then I have to wait for the reaction. Then I have to wait for everything to do what I'm expecting it to potentially do. And that's where patience comes into play. Held on to that 5 minute level. Currently, right, it needs to break above 71 or failed bearish move here. That could signal a potential flip in trend. If it does continue to break above it, and you want to see it hold above 72. Stack levels have gave me more confidence. Yeah, dude, though, yeah, there you go. Look at that. That looks clean as hell. Yeah, stack level below, right, jumped right off the pocket, created the new level. Yeah. Beautiful wingnut. Very nice, man. See a lot of guys getting their first payouts, passing their first accounts, doing all that fun stuff, man, without breaking the bank. That's the goal. The goal is to preserve your income, preserve your accounts, not have to reset account after account. This would be a 5 minute advance read, Scarface. Yes, this would be a 5 minute advance read. As long as it holds 64, stop loss will be below 58. You want to see that continuation push. If it is going to try to flip the downtrend on the 5, it is still downtrending on the 5, right? They gave you the initial advanced read on the 5 minute was this purple candle over here, where it get pulled down and almost stopped you out, then pulled itself back up. So now it's testing it again on this candle, but I want to see it start really breaking over this purple candle over here to kind of give me that confirmation. If not, this could be range. This could be our range area. And then if it can't break over 72, if it starts to stay under, this is going to look like it wants to keep going down some. All right. Same idea with the 5 with the 1 minute candles. The candle size plays a part in this, right? I saw that big 5 minute come in. I'm expecting some retracement. So it did come down to retrace and challenge its level. Just like on the 1 minute, it does the same thing. When the candles are much bigger, you're going to see a little bit of a challenge. This one wasn't even that much bigger than the previous ones. It was about double. But I'm talking about like this is like significantly larger. P2P was the best investment ever. Just like their payout. Let's go, Wingnut. Quantum Saucebox gives like 30 win trades. Yeah, Kathy, I know Kathy, you kill it with that. It is absolutely best to be patient. Oh shit, you did lose the charts. Hold on, let me go back. All right. Boom. Hopefully they're up again. All right. Still running. We paused the preview to save your resources. Okay, can you guys see them now? Yes? Okay, perfect. All right. Still testing this 64. I want to start seeing break over 70 though. The longer it takes for it to do that, the more the downtrend looks like it wants to hold. This 5 minute has about 10 seconds left, so it's contesting this level with its last 10 seconds. Looks like it's pulling up. Yeah, it closed above. Closed above, so that level's still alive. Ooh, my Dom's speeding up a little bit. Okay, I'm getting some reaction here. What time is it? 12:45. Okay. Let's see. Let's see if it's gonna try to break that 72. Do you use orb levels at all? Yes, I do, Brian. Absolutely. Orb is king. Orb is king. I use orb. I have my own personal orbs I trade, my little 5 minute orbs I trade that I teach my students. I have my most profitable times as well that I share, and usually those are also based around where the orb is. So when like Brian, if you haven't been with us for too long, always keep an eye where orb is formed and where the levels are. Most of the time, you're going to see orb formed around other levels, and then you're going to see a level below or a level above. And if it's trying to break out, right? Some people try to catch the break, and then it just kind of pauses. And usually, when that happens, I have levels around there where I'll see it pause, it'll just hang out, and then it'll kind of come down a little bit, and then it'll kind of come back up, challenge the level again, and then it'll start breaking it, and that's when it's going to start going. Yeah, exactly. So exactly what I was just saying. It happens a lot. Like you'll see it happen a lot where the levels are and where the orbs are, and it gives me patience, right? Because I'm not going to go for an orb break just because it's close. I'm like, no, I got a level there. I'm going to wait for it, and if it breaks, then I'm going to see how much room I have to the next level. This is going to be a good move to go into on an orb break if I'm playing orb break with a quantum. If I have a quantum level right on top of orb, I'm not gonna play it. I'm gonna wait for that other level to break and to kind of open it up, and then potentially retest the break of the previous. because you want to play orb the right way. It's a break and retest. I have bought 2 mentorships and signed up for the event in the last month and a half. I would still like to get P2P and Maximind. I'm hoping there will be a sale at the live event. Who knows, Ken? You know as much as I do. Oh yeah, here it goes. Look at that clean hold of that level. Closed above. There's that push to 72, ripping over 72. 5-minute advanced reads, rare as they are, they do still play out. Now you want to see it break 75 next. If it's going to continue to hold over 72, that's your next area. Next area will be 75. Max don't do sales. Yeah, that's true. He doesn't do sales. Always keep that in mind. He doesn't do sales, but he did do sales for the event technically, right? We did he snuck in some sales events here and there. So at this point, maybe, who knows? I don't know. I honestly don't know. But if you like quantum, get P2P first, then line up really good. Yeah. Yeah. Quantum and P2P, yeah, that's I noticed that early on when I learned llama stuff, and I was just like, whoa. And I wasn't like much of a fib guy. I hated fibs. Because there were so many ways to draw them. People would draw them at the swing high, swing low. Some would use like certain candles, 30-minute candles, 15-minute candles. They would use the 5-minute swing lows, and I was just like, so which one? Like which one? And llamas are just always on point. Like those are the ones I like always rely on. And when I have them lined up with a level, with a quantum level, sauce box, and that, I'm just like, oh yeah. I'm like waiting for it. Every time I see it, I'm like, oh, please get down there, baby. Or get up there, wherever they are. I'm just like, oh, please, I'm waiting for you. All right, she's stuck in between right now. Stuck between 75 and 64. Pushed up to 74. Couldn't fully contest that level. But that is kind of that retracement of this purple right here. That purple retracement was around 74. So that did recur. The retracement occurred on this candle, but immediately rejected it. And that's where we're stuck right now. And if it breaks through that 75.25, then we'll see more contention and potentially more push up. Probably getting and assuming everyone highly recommends here. Yeah, quantum has been most consistent for me though, but I have hard times respecting the stop loss and sometimes losing it. Ken, trust me, you're gonna see better results when you respect those stop losses. Like I know, like sometimes you're just like that feeling of it'll flip, it'll do this, it'll do that. Don't 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 trade living on that hope and that the prayer and hope strategy is what I used to call it. Like just let it stop you out. It's okay. It'll save you. I know. Hey, it takes time. I know, Ken. It takes time. Trust me. I've been in your shoes. I did it. I'm not consistent now because I was perfect from the beginning. In the beginning, I had no stop loss. I had zero stop loss. My stop loss was this account's either going to get blown or I'm going to pass this damn thing, and then I would get to the funded state and I would do the exact same thing. Either I'm going to hit my target or I'm going to blow this thing. And once I started respecting the stop losses, my account started living longer. I started making up losses a lot faster. Like I would have a losing day, and then the next day I'd be like, "Bam, dang, that was easy." And then I wouldn't. Before I was just like, you know how many accounts I could have saved like that? I was like, dang, I should have started doing this a long time ago. I would still have more money. Takes time, but that's a part of the process. It's all individualized, man. You're gonna experience it, right? I always tell people like you can set every rule in the book. You can have a mentor that'll tell you exactly what to do, but it's up to you to do it in the end, right? You're either gonna follow your rules or you're not. No one's breathing behind your back. No one's gonna, smack you in the head because you didn't follow the rule. You're doing that to yourself. It's you versus you in this thing, and you're either gonna, learn it the hard way, which a lot of us do. We all learn it the hard. We love to learn it the hard way, or you're gonna, come out with discipline from the get go, which is very hard in this game. Because not even somebody like, let's say, Logan, right? Super disciplined with the military stuff. But even he started off the same way as I did. We started off very undisciplined, all over the place, racing to these big numbers and everything until we finally hit our points where we're like, you know what? No, I got to stop doing this and start following my rules, right? He has a strat. He waits for his things to line up. If he doesn't, he's not going to take a trade. It's that simple. I'm the same way. If I don't like what I see, I'm not going to take a trade. But guess what? If I take a trade, I know where my stop loss is. And if it stops me out, it stops me out. Then I move on. I wait for the next. And I do that on repeat over and over and over again. And I've gotten a payout from every single prop firm except Apex. Like I've tried prop firms that we aren't partnered with that I'm getting payouts with. Like I'm at eight different prop firms I've gotten payouts with so far. Eight, except for Apex. The only ones I try are the ones with Tradeovate though. Just because I don't like. I've tried. I tried. What is it called? Project X. A while before I didn't like it. I tried. What was the other one? What's the one that I'm using with FFF? I'm not a fan of it. The live account that they're using with is oh my god, I forgot what the thing is called. But I'm not a fan of it either. Even alphas, I tried alphas prop plot their platform. You know, wasn't a fan of it. And then when they brought out Trade of Eight, I was like, thank God, just Trade of Eight. All right, you know that another advanced read off the five. That one came really close to contesting the whole blue candle. Bounced right off. 59. Still downtrending though. My biggest thing is not going on tilt. Because of it, I have 5 pros and 3 almost past the buffer again. Let's go. That's what it's about, Matt Time. You got 5 pros. Let's fucking go, dude. That's amazing work, dude. Yeah, exactly, Kathy. When you like really pick those plays, like when you get really good at being patient and waiting for those plays, those stop losses don't hit. Like they rarely hit. And like I always hovered a point or two above, right? But I always keep my risk factor the same. Like I always look for 15 points or less. And if it's higher than that, obviously, I'm gonna either start off small. I'm gonna wait for the pullback to make the risk reduced. But majority of the time, when the play is good, you're not going to get stopped out, but you will get stopped out on some. That's just the reality. We're not perfect. We're going to hit stop loss here and there. All right. Yep. I'm the guy that is in the reversal to mean trade using quantum to play the range while I watch Logan take the other side of the stops and make 15K while I busted account. Ken, stop. See, stop looking at everything. Like you need to just be focused on what you're doing because guess what? A lot of us do that with the morning show too. When we're listening to them and we're getting the hype and like, oh, if you don't see what they see, don't get in the trade. Simple as that. If you get in the trade just solely based on what they're doing, you're straight up gambled. I don't see a setup. If Max and them see a setup and I don't see it, guess what? I'm sitting on my hands. If I see a setup and they don't see it, oh, I like the short, but I'm looking at this. Ooh, the long is lining up. Guess what? I'm taking the long because my setup's presenting itself. You saw Logan do it this morning, right? Llama loved the short. Logan was like, I like the long. He took his little long quickly, got stopped out. Llama liked the short. Llama could have played. What did Logan do? He sat back and watched. Why? Because he didn't see his setup line up. That's what you got to do. Don't worry about the noise around you. You got to stick to what you're doing. I used to do that early on too when I would be like, Quantum's telling me to go short, but Llama and Max like the long. Let me go with Max and Llama, and then I would get burned. Sometimes, not all the time, right? Not all the time, because then like Max freaking kills it. Sometimes, like Max will see stuff that I don't see, and I'm just like, wait a minute, like we all have our own little thing. But when I'm going based off of the noise, I tend to perform my worst. But when I'm going based off of what I see, if they see what I see too, I'm gonna usually go more all in than I would before. Like when Llama shit lines up with my shit, oh man, I tend to play a little bit heavier on some accounts. When Max's stuff and my stuff line up, and when I see what Max sees, when I do my SPX reading and his SPX reading, I'm going, heck yeah, I see it too. I love it, right? But that's the part where you have to learn to get out of your own head with all the noise. Like, okay, if you don't see what they see, don't get in it, right? If you see something and you like the setup, get in it, right? That's what I do. Like this morning, like yesterday, or when? What was it? Wednesday? Not Wednesday, Tuesday, right? The chop. They didn't like anything. Guess what I was doing? I was playing my setups. I was playing my chop plays, my range plays. I was doing everything I normally do because I like what I see and I'm gonna get in it. I'm gonna test this. I'm gonna test that. Even though they may not like this or they like this and I like this, it's just a part of it. We all do it. We all do it, right? How many times have Max and Llama faded each other? A couple times. How many times have me and Logan faded each other? A couple times. That's just a part of it. But you have to like really trust yourself, Ken. Like get to that point where you trust yourself, right? Wait for those A plus plus setups that Logan showed you, right? You're part of his CSO, so be patient. There's other ways to play. I know some of the stuff that he teaches as well, so it's like I know there's other ways to play around it. But you have to find what your bread and butter is. What is your A plus plus setup? Right? I know what my A plus plus setups are. I share them with everyone else. What the A plus plus setups are based around what? You know, what confluence do you have? You got to find the setup that you're the most confident with, and it might be different than everyone else's. Look at Kathy. Like, look what she did. She implemented 3 time frames. I don't do that. That's what works for her. She found her A plus plus setup, 1, 2, and 5. Like she made it her own. That's what you got to work to do is like, what is my bread and butter setup? What is the setup that I know is gonna work for me that I am gonna be fearless to take? And guess what? I'm not expecting it to be perfect. If it loses, I'm gonna be okay losing it because it was the setup I always look for. Right? Just like I always look for the fib, sauce box, quantum level. Like those 3 line up, I'm eyeballing that setup. In between, I'm just gonna play my regular quantum setups. Everyone has that. Learn to spot that, stick to that one, master that one, and then start eyeballing the other setups, right? Because I play what the market gives me. Sometimes I play the quantum ranges because that's what the market's giving me. Quantum ranges all over the place. I see an A plus plus setup fail, and then another A plus plus setup fail. I'm going, okay, today seems to be a range day, so let me just play the quantum ranges. I make my adjustment, and then I start playing whatever it gives me, right? Could give me the ranges. It might just give me stack levels. It might be an A plus plus setup day. So like the market will vary. You adjust to the market. But don't overwhelm yourself. Remember, don't overwhelm yourself. There's a lot of information out there, right? You're learning Logan stuff, my stuff, and everything. There's a lot of information. It could be information overload. Take your time, slow it down, right? Let me get really good at reading this. Let me get really good at understanding how these areas react, right? Just like understanding how the quantum levels react. When Logan's levels match up with my levels, same thing, exact same thing. When fib matches quantum or quantum matches a pivot level, watch how it reacts. Wait for it to get there. Specifically, just be patient. Don't try to play in between. Just be like, let me see if it gets to it. And then when it gets there, let me watch and see what happens. And collect that data and learn from it. I did the same thing in the beginning for 3 months. Either hit TP or just let take the account. Yeah, I protect the accounts. Look at this gold with Q and the fibs, free money. Exactly, exactly. I think I still would have taken the 5 advance read when the 1 minute came back up. Yeah, that would have been a pretty good setup. CC, like it respected the 5 minute. If you had your stop loss right below that 5 minute candle, it would have gotten really close, really super close. But again, right, I don't put it right at the line. I hover it right below. Beautiful, beautiful recovery, right? Action lines lined up. There's your buy signal, right? It did cross in front, so the move was already occurring, right? This was the move already occurring, and then slowly pushing back up. And good, take your time learning, CC. That's exactly how you should be taking. I made to get Llama's course because I need to learn to hold longer when possible. Yeah, he's the king of holding slice. Like he's the king of holding. And when I have his things right, that's where I tend to hold certain amount of runners longer because I know what's about to come. And usually my first TPs when it's the trifecta, I don't hit 5 and 10. I start trailing after it passes through 10 because it almost always blows through 10 points. And then I start trailing my initial, and I always leave my runners. Let me see how far up it'll get. And if there's a level and another fib or something, then I'm like, oh, if it gets a close, I'm always going to be happy with what it gives me. But again, right? I made my living doing my routine. The 5 and 10 points came later. The main TP was 10 points. The 5 and 10 points came later when I wanted trading to become less stressful and more fun. And when I hit the 5 points, the 5 points is risk reduction, and that was that anxiety relief for me. The 10 points is always the main target, always from day one, and that was like kind of that train of thought for me. And when you have other things that and the market's volatile, you can aim for much more, right? But you want to be consistent. The key is to be consistent, right? I'm Mr. Consistent, I guess. That's what they call me around here. It's like and I just do it on repeat. I would have stuck with an entry current 1 minute inversion of the 5 minute advance read. I'm confirming with him. Like, yeah, there you go, CC. Tell him, Javi, he's stubborn like an old written army mule. Ken, were you in the military? Yeah, here I take longs from E4 short for 8-1, especially E3. There you go, Kathy. Yeah, the advanced reads have the best RR. Those are my favorite setups. The advanced reads are my favorite setups because of the potential. The stop loss is usually so small on those that I'm like almost always gonna test it. Like almost always. Because it's like if it doesn't play out, a couple points doesn't hurt. Right. But also control your sizing. Control your sizing. That's right. Trading is an individual sport. Absolutely. I say that passing evals mainly with quantum. There you go, Ken. Next is building buffers and the payouts will come. Yes. And take your time building the buffers. I tell this to everybody. Once you build that buffer, right? My bread and butter number was 250 bucks. 250 bucks with 4 accounts, 450K accounts. And in my first payout came October 9th of 2024. That Thanksgiving weekend of that year was when we did the math and how much we made. 4 accounts, 450K accounts, hitting 250 after I hit the buffer, hitting 250 every 5 days on two of these accounts that were very similar to Alpha every 5 days, and then the other ones were the Tradeify straight to funded. So with the Tradeify straight to funded back then was every 10 days you had to hit 200. So I was hitting 250 every 10 days. I was pulling out 2K times two. And on the other accounts, I was making I was hitting 250 and I was taking 1200 times two every 5 days. So 2400 times two so basically 2400 every week. And it was 4800 every 10 days, just hitting 250 bucks. And I got really comfortable hitting that. 4 accounts, 450K accounts. I made almost $19,000 in payouts from October 9th when I got my first payout up until Thanksgiving weekend. Okay. Don't underestimate what you can do with these little numbers. Right. I'm not a fancy flashy guy. Right. But you can do a ton of damage with these 50K accounts. So much damage. That's right, Wingnut. And I spread it in accounts. Like I don't copy trade. Could I possibly? But my mental can't handle it. Like I know I can't. Like I know that I can handle taking a loss on one account. Like I know I can. But if I were to take an L on one account times three or two or four, that would bug me. Like I know it would bug me, so I avoid it. Right? That's the next part. You want to learn how to control your tilt. How do you control your tilt? Only you know that. You know what's at your tilt. We all hate to lose. We all hate to lose. We hate when a freaking football team loses. So you hate to lose. I know we hate to lose. We all hate to lose. But in this game, like, what am I going to do when I lose, and what am I going to do to control it? right? When I first took the L after I came back from that blow up, when I blew that big money and I was ready to quit trading, I started taking breaks after a loss. I started just going, okay, you know what? I just took the L. Maybe I'm gonna drink water. Let me listen to a song. Let me just do something to get my mind out of that lull, and let me just get patient for the next setup. That's all it's about. Figuring yourself out. Once you figure yourself out, you control your emotions, then you trust the setup. Wait for your setup, play it, respect everything about the setup. Stop loss, whatever your TP may be, whether you use ATR as a TP, whatever it may be for you, right? I have my routine. I follow my routine, right? I stick to my routine. That's what works for me, right? And it's not like something that's hidden, right? I tell everybody my routine's the same. I do it at Power Hour, 5.7 points runners. That's my routine. All right, y'all. Yep, great day. I think I saw a lot of you guys already were reading what I was seeing. CC saw that advanced read on the 5 minute. It's it's all repetitive. Every single one of our lessons are repetitive. We look for the same setups. We play the same things over and over again. We wait for the same reactions over and over again. Once you get really comfortable, just learn each one by one. Master the A++, master the advanced read, because those are attached together. After that, maybe the quantum range or the level plays. Watch how they react around the levels. Watch your action lines react. Watch what the candles start doing. Watch if the candles start appearing. Look at everything and narrate. Like narrate you like it's funny. It's like funny. I find it funny because a few of the people Power Hour were like, I love how you narrate your plays because it's like sports commentary. And I didn't really think about it much until I was like narrating it to myself. I'm like, oh damn, it does kind of sound like I'm like following a player, and I'm like, oh, this has to be here, and this good break here. Oh, there it goes, and I'm like, oh shit, it does sports commentary. And I like found it funny, but it helps me because I'm like, I know where my stop is. So if this holds below here, and we can see the move coming, we have room to here, and if it breaks there, then we might have continuation. But this could bounce here. All that helps me because then I know where my stop loss is. That's where I know where my reaction may be, and I know where I'm not going to give money back. Like I'm always going to take something out of it. Period. Always. Yeah, there you go. It either goes or it doesn't, and you respect it. Like you let it do its thing. You got to trust it. If I can make half my paycheck every 7 days with being, yeah, exactly, Wingnut. Merry Christmas. Thank you, Intellect. Merry Christmas, you too, brother. Like this is the type of stuff I would try and enter. And a short, and most of the time I would get stopped out. What's that on? I don't, other than, looks like you have a pivot. So here, what I'm seeing, it broke the trend. So immediately I'd be cautious. This is right here. Yeah, this is right here. This is occurring right now. Okay, that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing this right here. Okay. Yep. Look, there it comes up. So this right here would tell me that this broke the downtrend on the 1 minute. You see the red, right? It's fighting the trend change on the 1. Look at your 5. It's also fighting the trend change on the 5. If the trend is confirmed as it's breaking, you're going to start seeing these levels start breaking through. But I would prefer this to really start being tighter to this 85 rather than all the way down here at the 80. Like this 82 wick came down pretty violently. From the 78, it gave you 5 points. Not much for me. And then you're going up against that stack level that it held, right? You got a stack level now. So that 5 minute held, you got the new A setup, or not A because the cross did occur in front, but this is a stack level here. I would never short into a stack level this close. That's just way too close. So these are those little things, right? You're going to start eyeing, you're going to start being like, okay, I used to take losses on this one, but now I see why I shouldn't because of this, how close it is. I want it to start getting further away so it has room to come down. Because the way that it will break a stack level is if it has momentum pushing down towards it to actually give it the strength to either touch it or to eventually break it. But I don't want to try to catch a quick move once it's already occurred. The move is occurring. If this is going to hold, there's very little chance it's going to actually touch it. Could it touch? Yes. But with my experience, with a stack level, it's not going to really go all the way if it's a strong area, which is what we're seeing right now, right? wick down to push up, and you're in between. I want it to be closer. This is where I would wait for the candles to get a little closer, and then I would wait for the pause for that potential push. Now I would have room. This is how you avoid that, right? But you're also careful because you're flipping trends. You're flipping trend on the 5, right? The 5 right now is holding on to that 73. Remember that 72 area I was talking about earlier? It starts holding above 72. That was that trend on the 5. Right, there's your break. There's your green. And if it continues to hold above it, you'll start getting contention to potentially test this area above. We still have that retracement up here at 98, 99 as well. So we'll need to break through 85, right? This was an area where it rejected before. It's rejected a couple times already. Nice little wick there for it as well. Doesn't mean that it won't go. It'll need to stay above, push a little further. But that's why, that's what these lessons are for. To kind of help you guide you what to avoid and what to be cautious for. And you have to ask these questions. You have to post those. Like I want every single one of you guys in here and gals to post your losses, please. We try to break them down. If not me, Sam, or Kathy, or anybody else that really knows quantum, they will help. We have a lot of knowledgeable guys and gals in there now. Exactly, Cece. $30 a trade. Exactly. That's all it took for me. Like that's that mindset that changed for me when I started thinking about it. When I because I was like, how much did I used to make an hour? And I was working 10 hours a day, and it was mind draining, physically draining, emotional draining work for $30 an hour. And I was a general manager at a restaurant. Right, I was one of the main boss people. Right, a lot of people when we look at Indeed and Career Builder, we're looking for like $20, $18 an hour. You could easily do that here, easily, if you're patient and you know you're not sizing up too much with very low risk. Like you could easily do that, but we want more. Like we see everyone else winning big, and then we want to do that, and we don't want to be patient. We don't want to be patient to do that. We want to do that immediately, and it takes time. It's not easy. It takes time because you're going to learn that you have a lot of demons that control your emotions when you're losing and all this other stuff. Like it's crazy. It's crazy how you rediscover yourself in this game. I have much to learn. I did well today with P2P, but it gives me anxiety. Hey, Alaska, wait! I can't wait to do our one-on-one, man. Because you sound like you're just like me. I get anxiety while trading too, right? And that's why I have my routine. I have my routine up until certain areas, right? When we go over how I use P2P stuff, like you're gonna start seeing, like, oh dang, and those P2P setups are the ones I have the least anxiety with. Like those are the setups I'm like, it's either gonna give it to me or it's not. But I will have zero anxiety on that side at all. The TPT stops trailing. Yes, when you make to the buffer wingnut, it stops trailing. You got there, brother. Let's go, wingnut. Congratulations, bro. Let's fucking go. Yeah, stop trailing on a 150K account at that, bro. Let's go, dude. Yep, you got it, man. So you can take out that $50 later tonight or $30. But protect it now, man. Protect it. Now that's a money printing machine. You got 4,500 in drawdown. Just think of it as 4,500 in cash. You can only take out anything above that. Anything above that, man. Congratulations, brother. I need to make 42 an hour to give my day job up. That sounds like that 42 an hour, man. I think it's very possible. But again, you got to take your time. It's very doable. How many hours do you work a day, Alaskan? 10 hours? Whew. Yeah, that's a long day. It's a very long day. 2 accounts, you can easily replace that just with two. But when you have more, the more accounts you have, the less anxiety you also will experience because you have backups. That's why I have a bunch of accounts and I don't trade them all every day. Like I spread them out. I have Apex account. It is tough to get payout with it. Apex, I haven't gotten a payout with Apex yet, but I haven't really tried them because they had like they before there was a lot you had to do for them. Like they wanted you to record yourself, all sorts of stuff. Um, oh dang, look at that pull down that just occurred. Um, so I was skeptical of it, but you know, I'm trying on one. I have a 150k. I'm at like 3k on. I think I've had 3 trading days on. I think I need 8 in total. I don't know. Trying to get to the buffer. I'm going to try. I want to see if I can get Apex under my belt. But I know people get payouts out of Apex. We have a few in here, a few students. We have a few mastermind students. It's doable. It's very doable. Or we wouldn't be partnered with them. That's why you can request a payout for that little. But there's yeah, the $50 service fee is if you're gonna withdraw it to your um, from your wallet. So you could take it out and put it in the wallet and just leave it there and collect it. That's what I tend to do. I mean, $35, I probably want to take that out. Personally, I probably leave it in there. But once I get past $100, I take out the 100 or 150 and I let it sit in the wallet because you have to withdraw more than 250 or 300 for that fee um, to be ignored. It's a $50 fee if you're gonna, but if only if you're gonna withdraw from the wallet to your bank account. FY can request a payout from that level. Yeah, 5 minutes challenging that area again. Still downtrending. Still downtrending. So the 5 minute still held all this red up here. If this breaks that level and can break that blue and that cross, this could the downtrend could continue. And I really want to see if it'll get down here. It could, but it's trying to curl up right now again. Stack levels. So this 5 minute needs to start breaking through them if it is gonna push down further. For the time being, as long as this area holds, could get some more push up. 7. All right. Ooh, she's getting violent. Ooh, she's getting violent. I think she wants to push. I think the downtrend's gonna hold off here. This can hold below 64. How much time is left? This is it's got a whole 4 minutes left. So this move could start going. Getting wiki on the one. Look at the wiki and this on the 1 minute. Yeah, I think she wants to go. But this is scary right now. Because this still has 4 minutes left. Needs to break through that 58. This is the last line of defense at the bottom wick of this blue right here. This 58. If that breaks, then we have some push. This is trying to cross down, but it needs to break that. Look at that. Wow, look at that. Wow. Big blue is holding for now. If it gives away, how much time does it still has 3 minutes left. Whoa. 58. Look at it's still bouncing right off 58. Look at that. 59. It hit 59 that time. So this needs to hold below 64. You need to start seeing it cracking through 58. Yeah, Kathy, there's been a lot of divergence with SPX and NQ since Tuesday. I want to say Tuesday. I don't remember Monday much. I want to say there was some on Monday too, but they've been complete opposites the last since the holiday started. I was reading it. I was reading SPX when the market was open. Now I'm just like, it's like, damn, it doesn't give a damn what it's doing right now. All right, here's another test of 58. It's trying to get down there. This 5 minutes got to close below this area, below 65, 64. But if it breaks, there it goes. Okay, I see. All right, there's the break of 58. Now it needs to hold below it. Oh, okay. Yeah. Now it needs to start holding below 58. This 5 minute candle has about a minute left. And if she can hold above below 58, we're definitely gonna have some more push. We're gonna have that new level form here. And a new level breaking two levels. Gonna be interesting. And back up she goes. All right, 40 seconds left. She's testing this whole area again. It always seems easy when you scroll the charts to watch to see how signals went, but I seem to not learn anything when I do this. So what I do, what is the best way to practice the setups, Gion? Forward testing, forward testing, right? Because you can see, you can go back and you can clearly see it, but you have to begin to like just trust the setups. Go in like, hey, okay, you know, I like this. Forward testing is the way to go because we can back test anything. Everything back tested looks good because you're eyeballing everything. You already see it, right? But forward testing is the hardest thing to do, and to do it right, sometimes doing it on paper. Start with just doing it on paper for now. Get the emotions out of it. Just do the routine, and then do it again in a real account. But still, right? Control sizing. Never go super big, but always be okay taking the L. You're gonna take L's. You're gonna take L's. You're not gonna be a perfect trader. Nobody's gonna be. Nobody's a perfect trader. Period. Be okay with that. Accept that. Right? That was my crutch early on. I was expecting, wow, can't believe that this closed above 64. Look, it went all the way up just to close above 64. I had that expectation on myself when I started coming on here. Like I was nervous as hell to start trading on Power Hour and everything because I was like, I have to be perfect. I have to be perfect. And you don't know how liberating it was to experience that first loss. Because when we lost, I was just like, oh, now I don't have to worry about being perfect. Like that was so liberating for me, and I've been having fun trading since. Again, right? Like I love trading. To me, this is fun. This is my video game. Like this is my peacetime is now trading, which is funny. Right? Everyone's like, enjoy your vacation. I'm enjoying my vacation. I this is like if I was vacationing, watching a TV show or something, we do that. But if there's dead time, I enjoy doing this. Like I love doing this. But forward testing, back testing, right? Back testing on the 1 second. There you go. Kathy's giving great advice on that too. The 1 second. So the 1 second, um, you would need premium trading view for that, though. I believe. Look at that. She held above 64 and the other one, and now she's giving a push up again. Right, still has to break well above 68. Right, you want to see this 5 minute candle completely obliterate this potential cross that it's trying to form and still start closing over these bearish candles. As long as it can't close over these bearish candles, if the downtrend is still going to hold. But it's fun to see that it pulled all the way back over 64 to give another little attempt push up here. This next 5-minute candle has about 2.5 minutes. So this could be the range right here too. This 5-minute range between 80 and 58. Let's say 78. So it's gonna be stuck in a tight spot. If this does manage to break the 64, you might have the only thing contesting it will be that 58 and then that level above. But it has to close below it. So currently doesn't look like it wants to. It just wants to hang out. So you trade 1-minute candle with 1-second movements, just like live trading with no risk. Oh, there you go. See, Kathy's giving that good advice because I've never done that. Yeah, potential advanced read. Yeah, so if it retests down here, 64, continues to hold above 64. This could be the range area, so I wanna watch, see what happens here. What happened, buddy? All right, everyone. This is fun, but I haven't eaten anything yet, and I'm hungry. Thank y'all for joining me. I hope you guys learned something. I love doing these. I'm going to continue to do these. I'll see you guys Sunday. We're going to do this again Sunday. But we're going to do 6 p.m. We're going to do right at the open because that is 8 p.m. for me over here. So happy holidays. I hope you guys enjoyed your freaking Christmas and continue to enjoy it up until New Year. Next year's going to be fun as hell. I can't wait. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you guys on Monday. All right? Peace out.
You mean Sunday?
Yes, it's Sunday.
Is it Monday?
I can't. Yes.